So, hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Turn 5 podcast where we discuss the Snooze Fest Grand Prix. Sorry, Miami.
Second,
The
part two.
Influencer Grand Prix.
Yeah.
Part one.
Influencer Grand Prix Part 1, because Part 2 will come later in the year.
Yeah, when we go to
What
Vegas.
was Azerbaijan last week? Was that just Snooze Fest?
Yeah, that was just Snooze Fest because there weren't all the Instagram influencers there.
There was photographers getting run over though.
This is true.
So
But they didn't have many hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram, so nobody cared.
They changed the rules this week and still nearly had somebody run over. So,
yeah.
Incroyable.
the FIA, it was a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for watching this week's episode of the
Yeah.
Turn 5 podcast.
The only thing that could make it worse is if they done a sprint race there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then we've had to have watched two races of that.
Yeah.
At least the Azerbaijan sprint was somewhat interesting.
Yeah, that was just by virtue of a muddled-ish grid.
But it was still somewhat interesting, so that was good. That Miami just wasn't.
I don't know. I feel like the tyre strategy sort of let it down a bit.
Mandatory
Yeah.
two-stop next year, anybody?
Why wait after the summer break? Get it voted in, you know?
Oh, I just meant for Miami. There's some races
Oh,
that
right, okay.
one-stops are still interesting. But
I think a two-stop's always going to be more interesting.
yeah.
But
I think if you go into a race and the hard tire is the best tire, you're gonna struggle to get entertainment out of that race.
that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So how do we solve that? Do we go for the softer tires, or do you go harder?
You'd have to go harder
I would have
because
gone
then the hard
harder.
becomes the medium.
Yeah.
Because softs would have died after 5 laps. Mediums died.
I mean,
after
look at
about
the
20.
McLarens. They both started on softs, and then after 10 laps, they're at the back of the grid because they already had to pit.
But then if you go softer, they have to pit more.
True.
Yeah, but then they'd have to pit like excessively more.
It would turn into
Seven-stop strategy.
Yeah,
Jensen Button 2011 Canada.
Exactly. Great fun.
4 hours. No. I don't know, but also we have to be careful to, if you like, mandatory two-stops there, because there are some of the best races have been where it's a fight between a two-stop and a one-stop, where the one-stop's marginal and you can make it work, but you got to be right about how you go about it.
See Hungary 2019, 2020, was it?
The last couple of races in Spain.
Yeah, Spain 2021 in particular.
They've both had the same thing. It's just been the roles were reversed each year. Hamilton did the two-stop in 2021. Verstappen did the two-stop in 2022. You know, that was a good fight for the front. That was interesting, and that was down to a difference in strategy. This time out, the most difference in strategy we had was: do you start on the medium or do you start on the hard? Generally speaking, because I quickly went and looked through it here. If you start, I think the strategy to go for was to start on the hard. So the runners that started on the hard tyre were Ocon in 8th, Verstappen in 9th, Hulkenberg in 12th, Hamilton in 13th, Zhou in 14th, Tsunoda in 17th, and Stroll in 18th. Now, getting this strategy to work proper did rely on you not getting caught up in traffic, as a couple of the drivers did. Namely Hulkenberg and Ocon and Zhou as well. Those 3 drivers actually lost positions over their starting grid. Ocon lost 1, Hulkenberg lost 3, and Zhou lost 2. But Verstappen, Hamilton, Stroll, and Tsunoda managed to avoid getting bogged down in DRS trains for the majority of the race. And Tsunoda and Stroll gained 6, Hamilton gained 7, and Verstappen gained 8. Which kind of, to me, illustrates that being on the softer tyre with a less fuel-laden car was the better way to go about it.
The
Yeah.
only issue is if you're Perez or whatever starting on the hard, you're gonna get how much will you get bogged down at the start?
Yeah, but conversely, it also, if you start on the hard, you run the risk of an early safety car ruining your
Yeah.
strategy.
Yeah.
We didn't have
It
that
just
this
so
time.
happened that we didn't have any yellow flags.
Well, so you know, it's 50-50. You know, you can plan a race to your best extent, but a safety car at the wrong time is going to ruin it no matter what you plan.
Joe, it actually goes back to our conversation a couple of weeks ago, just on the yellow flag thing. Does a chaotic race make a good race? This is a race with absolutely nothing that happened. And so it was.
I don't know. There were some fights, but they weren't the fights we wanted to see.
Yeah.
And one of the fights we wanted to see kind of got taken out of our hands because of the aforementioned strategy choices. Because with Perez and Max starting on opposite strategies, and Max basically getting the better luck of it because of the lack of safety car, it meant that Max's stint was able to be stretched so much longer because he's just running in clean air at the front, that by the time he did eventually swap onto the mediums, he had to do a shorter stint length than Perez needed to do at the start.
Yeah.
Which is easier to do at the end because you've got less weight in the vehicle, so you're able to put less force through the car. And at that point, typically you're doing a little bit of lift and coast because there's no safety car, so you've got to play a bit with the fuel. But what we want to see is, well, what I want to see is Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz fighting up at the front. Sainz got a 5-second penalty, kind of took that out of his own hands. But Charles's crash in quali meant that he spent half the race fighting with Hulkenberg in a Haas. Now, it's one thing for Mercedes to be a bit embarrassed because the Aston Martin, as the customer team, is doing better than them. It's another thing entirely for a Ferrari to be embarrassed because their customer team, Haas, is going toe-to-toe with them.
Because Aston Martin, I don't think, takes anywhere near the amount of parts from Mercedes as Haas do from Ferrari.
And it's just, I don't know, I just think the prestige that Ferrari hold themselves in is like they should be above all of their customer teams.
Well,
easily.
I mean, the prestige that Ferrari holds themselves in, they should be above everybody.
Everyone, yeah, but, you know, recent years. But at least above your customer teams. And for Hulkenberg to be able to fight back pretty easily and pretty consistently, bit embarrassing.
Yeah. And to be fair, even the Mercedes cars were looking, the Ferraris look like chumps.
Yeah. George Russell's dive bomb on Sainz.
Hamilton's overtake
finally managed to give someone enough space.
Hamilton's overtake on Leclerc as well was pretty good.
Yeah, that was quite nice. Verstappen's overtake on Leclerc and Hulkenberg. Was it Hulkenberg at that point, or was it Magnus? I think it was Hulkenberg.
The Haas.
One of the Haas's. The double overtake. That was obscene.
I guess it is Magnussen because it
had to be because it was quite early. But
who knows?
Just the absolute performance of that Red Bull in a double slipstream into a DRS zone. A DRS zone that isn't even that long because it was the start-finish straight. That was outrageous.
Max knew what he was doing. He sized it up.
Yeah, he did.
Right on the.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him just like dump his battery at that point as well, just to sort of make sure he got past. But still, that was probably some of the best bits of action we had.
That was the best bit of action we had.
Yeah.
The other was checkered flag, probably.
Even that wasn't really waved. It was just sort of dangled. It was like, oh,
yeah,
finished.
Can we get these people that are going up to wave the checkered flag? Can we teach them how to wave a flag before we send them up there, please?
It's not difficult. I got a 30-second crash course at Silverstone. You just do figure of eights.
That's all they need.
Big figure of eights.
Or even just like up and down.
No, because then the flag gets all furled up.
Yeah.
It's
Because
just
you're right, it's
big
gonna
at
be
figure of
least
eights.
ovals,
Yeah.
you know?
Mm.
At least, not just sort of checkered
Ooh,
flag.
look.
We done. Yeah.
So many people would kill for the chance to like wave that flag,
Like
Yeah.
Chris.
and would put significantly more effort into it than these people.
Like Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just sort
I'd
of a
make a great
letdown.
marshal. Thank you very much.
It's just sort of a letdown to see these famous people being given these opportunities and disappointing.
Yeah. That should be the next F1 Unlocked competition. The opportunity to wave the checkered flag at one of these races.
Yeah, I just don't think they should have
Yeah.
random celebrities doing it because, like, what's
That
the
don't
point?
care for Formula One.
Yeah, at least get someone that's passionate about it, because if they're
Mm.
passionate about it, they're more likely to wave the flag correctly.
But they know how to
Or
wave
at the
flag 'cause
correct
they
time. Like the issues we've had in the past where they've waved
God,
it
yeah.
laps early and stuff.
Well, to be fair, that's probably not their fault. They've
No.
probably been told, wave it now.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, it just can't count.
yeah. But, yeah, no.
At least we've not had it where they've waved the checkered flag at the wrong car. That would
You win now.
Yeah.
just like a random Williams coming through that's a lap down. Checkered flag, woo!
Your race is over.
Alex Albon wins the Miami Grand Prix.
We don't know how, but they did. Oh dear. But yeah, it's disappointing to just see it sort of
Dangled there, like,
yeah.
you know. Well, I mean, there's many things I
Like-
could say, but I don't think they're family friendly, so I'm not going to.
Since when was this a family
Yeah, I
friendly
think we're-
show?
Since I'm
Way-
trying to save myself from amount of editing, all right?
I think we're way past family friendly
What
after
do
Saudi
you-
Arabia 2022.
I don't even know what to say about the weekend.
The most action happened.
Awful.
The most action happened in practice and quali
Yeah.
when people actually crashed.
Well,
Well,
Charles
when
Leclerc crashed
Leclerc, yeah.
twice at the same corner.
A
On consecutive
crashed as
days.
well, thank you. In FP1.
Mick Schumacher came back for a weekend.
No, Ben. Why you got to do that to me? Why? There was no need.
Well, Mick Schumacher was there. He was just standing next to Toto Wolff.
As
He's
per.
always there, isn't he?
Yeah,
Because he's
yeah.
the reserve driver.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the reserve driver has to go to every weekend. It's probably advised, but
Well, I suppose the ones where he can easily get to, there's no
Hmm.
like Europe races. It's fine.
I think it was quite funny. I think it was either during qualifying or FP2. They showed Daniel Ricciardo on the screen. That's probably the loudest cheer I heard of the weekend.
There's another thing that happened.
He was
I don't-
just standing
was
in
it
the garage.
Practice 3, they showed Alex Palou and they said that it was Pato Award.
Oh dear.
So Pato posted pictures on Twitter of him and like
Yeah.
some exotic place, be like, I'm not got the wrong guy, F1 TV.
It
Oh,
also
no.
happened during the race when they showed this random guy and said it was Roger Federer. It's so good.
Oh God, I missed that.
Is it the Monaco
Oh, it was
TV
so
director? Is he
good.
getting a warm up?
Oh God, no, please.
Yeah, actually, during the race, they it was quite early on. They just decided to show concrete.
Oh yeah.
I must have missed that. I was at work at the time, so I was listening to it.
There's
I
no-
watched the start and like the first 6 laps, and then I was just listening to it while I was working.
I just seen the last like 6 or 7 laps. I was out.
I
and-
watched to like lap 37. I got bored. I went back to bed.
I think by that point it kind of became pretty obvious that Max was going to win.
Hmm.
Um,
From what I hear, though, The Monaco E-Prix was far more exciting.
There was like
Just the
hundreds of-
E-Prix generally seem to sound
it's like
more exciting.
over 100 overtakes.
At Monaco.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we get a size comparison of the cars, please?
Okay.
That was not a task for now. That was a...
It's a task for now.
Oh, God.
Does anyone know how it's 2 meters by 5 meters for a Formula One car?
Not entirely sure, but...
I think it is. So a Formula E car is also 5 meters, but it's only 1.7 meters wide.
And that's
So
the
they're-
crucial value.
They are slightly thinner than Formula One cars.
I feel like that makes a lot of difference when you're talking about the streets of Monaco. Because if
Yeah.
each car is, what was that, 30 centimeters narrower, that's 60 centimeters over 2 cars. That's over half a meter. That's a fair amount of space.
So let's just shrink Formula One cars.
Exactly. Make them Formula 2 size. We get overtakes in Formula 2.
Yeah.
Even this time.
I think for Monaco, the team should have to develop an entirely new car that is half the size.
Sorry, speaking of Formula 2, did we see the other news that came out this week?
I was just thinking that, yeah. I was thinking about something, probably.
And that at first it was broken that an 11th team was joining the Formula One grid in Silverstone, which turned out to be complete bollocks.
That is so funny.
It's just the fact that
Whoever's-
everyone reported it and everyone was so wrong.
Whoever
Yeah, but they're
came
all
up with that
reporting it for
story,
like the clickbait titles, aren't they?
whoever made that had an absolute field day. It was incredible.
Yeah. Who is it's driving again?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
So Brad Pitt will be driving a Formula 2 car at Silverstone in between sessions.
I don't know where you'd find the time, considering there's F1, F2, F3, Porsche
Supercar.
F1 Academy? Or
No.
is there
Not
no.
at the same time. Not this
No.
year.
It's 4 different racing series,
Plus Pirelli hot laps
plus
And
private
all-
laps.
and the promoter activities that go on,
Yeah.
like the Paddock Club lorries.
Well,
Drivers
let's just do those
Parade.
after dark. Let's just move all of that stuff. Move all the guff.
It makes me wonder that, like, at Silverstone last year, we had time for things like the Sebastian Vettel and the old Williams car.
Red
It
5.
worries me that we're not going to get stuff like that, and we're
Mm.
going to get Brad
Brad Pitt.
Pitt.
Exactly what's going to
Making a
happen.
movie.
You know that's exactly what's
It's
going to
got
happen.
Future entertainment
It's
Yeah.
disappointing.
and content.
There's
Can't
I'm
wait.
praying
Yeah.
Brad Pitt puts it in a wall.
Yeah, I can't wait.
That
for
would be hilarious.
Brad Pitt to lose it in Maggots.
Would they
and
be able to
Beckers.
use that in the movie?
They
What
would
if he
probably have
just
to
veered
re-script
off?
the movie, but yeah.
Yeah. If he bins it, would that be good content for the film?
I
well,
don't know, but it'd
content
be
for the
great
fans.
content for the
But,
fans.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's about a racing driver, they have to bin it at some point.
Apparently, it's
Yeah.
about Lewis Hamilton. Like, it's
No, I
based
think
off his
he's-
career.
Helping. I know he's helping
I
with
thought
the
he was
story.
just executive
Okay.
producer.
Yeah, he's helping with the story to make it
I
realistic.
read that it was based off of
but-
his career, but that
I
could.
heard it was based
also
off
be
Pastor
bollocks.
Maldonado.
Oh, then he has to bin
I was going to say, there's got to be a lot of
Mm.
crashes then.
Where's Hamilton? Bang!
it.
Whee!
You see, they've made a Gran Turismo film as well.
That
Trains
actually
out.
looks decent.
Yeah,
though.
that-
It
that's-
doesn't look
that's gonna
too
be good.
bad. But they basically played the whole film in the trailer.
They did.
Yeah, but it's based
Yeah.
off a true story. So
Yeah.
you can't really spoil a true story.
Also teased this week. Was it this week? I think it was this week.
I don't
we
know,
got
you're
the
hardly
first-
ever here.
We got the first proper details of the Formula One game.
Yes.
Yeah, that was this week.
And at long last,
but-
red flags are back.
Oh my god,
Woo!
wait, actually?
Yeah, confirmed red
Oh.
flags.
Oh my
There's
god, there's been so
a
many
lot of-
red flags IRL, the game has been forced to re-add them.
What I want to say is, I want to say they've been added full breaking point.
Yeah, but they are, from what I understand, going to
But they
feature
are
in the other
in the game.
modes.
There better be red
But
flags.
there's
Like
a
my
lot of
team.
There better be red flags in
Hopefully they
Grand
do
Prix.
it.
I'm absolutely going to go
Yeah.
for heroics into Sandoval and see how
Red flag.
quickly I can cause a red flag.
I will do that.
Chris,
Stress
that,
test the game.
Accidentally.
Exactly.
that could change with you purposely crashing people out, because there's going to be F1 World now.
Oh
instead of
yeah, I heard
F1
about
Life.
that.
Is
So
that what?
now there's going to be a new safety rating in offline and online to try stop people tornadoing everyone. And obviously, the
Do
better
the
safety
rules of
rating,
if you flashback it didn't happen apply?
who knows?
But see,
How
what,
can you
what
judge
happens,
people for just having
Well, it'd
fun
be-
with their mates while offline?
What happens if I do it accidentally?
It's still your fault, Nia.
Because it happened.
Whether it's accidentally or not, you're still the
Because we
cause of
try-
the collision.
If we're doing
Pay the
if we're doing a
penalty.
2-player career mode, am I going to get a penalty for Yitorinoing Richard
Yes.
on the formation
Yes.
lap
Yes.
Yes.
Again.
again?
But it depends how much you care about your safety rating.
I mean, if
Obviously,
it
it'll be
matters, then I will. But if it doesn't, then
the
let's
better
go for an
safety
F.
rating you get, the cleaner races you'll have online. So it
let's
depends
be
if
honest,
you
though,
want-
everyone is going to have an
Yeah.
F.
If you want everyone to have an awful safety rating, and
The way the game gives out warnings, nobody's going to have any kind of good
Exactly.
record. Like
Yeah.
you get twatted into, and you get a warning for collision.
Except for maybe professional esports players, everyone else is going to have a terrible rating.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what everyone.
But yeah, we did mention it earlier. Breaking Point is back for its sequel. There is a new character, the champion of F2, and I can't remember her name.
Callie Mayer, Devon's sister.
Which is an interesting take.
Well,
We've got
yeah,
another
they've-
Devon.
Well, it's a woman.
Are we going to get one over on Devon by nailing his sister?
But,
I
Keeping it
believe
family friendly.
that is the podcast over.
I-
Because all men care about is shagging women.
I
Oh, come
don't.
on. You know that's a good way of going about it.
From what I understood from the press release, Devon's sister isn't actually going to make it to Formula One. I think she's like the reserve driver.
Well, what a way to degrade women in F1.
To be fair, at least they're making a woman in Formula 2 champion. That's not happening in real life.
This
You
is
wanna-
true.
You want to
And the last Formula 2 champion did become a reserve driver.
How can you have a story about Devon's sister and then not even put her in F1? What's the point?
Devon's got. Well, we don't know if he's got his own team or if he's just like a primary sponsor.
Nikita
I'm guessing
Mazepin.
it's primary sponsor.
To be
Yes,
fair,
it-
though, at least Mazepin didn't put his name on the rear wing. In the teased images, it literally says Butler
I
Global
mean-
on the rear wing.
I mean,
This is
your
Dad's brand.
alkali was basically Mazepin.
Yeah, but it wasn't literally Mazepin.
Yeah, but for the game, it makes sense to have it like that because how else would you tell? It's like, oh, that's Devon's company.
Yeah,
So for a
without
game, it
having
makes
to
sense.
get someone to read into the lore of Formula One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to sit there and read through like a
Too much
journal
room.
that you found on a shelf that's like, oh, look, you can walk around your cabin and you find a random book and it's like history pages of the Formula One world.
You got too much.
Nobody
reversing
wants
down this,
lore.
John Bro.
The Formula One wiki is founded.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Breaking Point's back. We don't know much detail about it, like how long it's going to be, etc., etc. But it's there. It is a
If
thing.
Devon's sister doesn't make F1, it'd be a calamity. And EA would be under so much.
All I'm looking forward to is the incessant phone calls from Jackson's mum.
Incest, then. It's like, what the That's so gross. Yes, Aiden Jackson's meant to get one up, not Devon.
The incessant phone calls from Aiden Jackson's mum before every race. Be like, you can do it.
Yeah, apart from we put her on snooze because we're a little bit busy with Devon's sister.
Is cheap knockoff Kimi Räikkönen going to come back?
Yeah,
No.
he's
Or
in.
Ackerman.
He's
Yeah, him.
in like the whatever. He's in Butler Global. He's part of the.
So
he's
does
on the pit
everyone
wall.
drive
He's
for
on the
Connor
pit
Sport?
wall. Yeah,
Damn.
but I don't know what they're doing with Aiden Jackson yet. Whether he's going to be with Red Bull or whatever.
Devon's sister.
Yeah, or whether he's just.
It's broken!
Wait, did you say Aiden Jackson? Sorry, I believe he's from the teasers. It looks like he's driving for Devon's team as well.
But they're free cars.
Well, no, because Devon's sister, as I say, I don't believe is actually in Formula One.
What's the point? Why do we need to see it?
So
She won F2. Wow. What's that got to do with F1?
Oh,
Nothing.
everything.
Breaking point 2. Where's the press release?
Aiden will get in a relationship with.
The hottest of hot takes.
I can tell you that Connor Sport is helmed by Tim Fellows, the team principal, who doesn't exist because they
does now.
probably, yeah. Ah, okay. So Connor Sport Butler F1 racing team entered during the 2022 season. The team sponsored by Butler's dad. Butler is literally just Mazepin at this point.
Yeah.
Davidoff Butler signed Jackson. This results in lots of incidents in 2022 and 2023. Butler is then out of the season, not specified for how long, due to injuries from Imola. Then his sister gets to drive. So she is the reserve driver, but gets to drive because Butler gets hurt. Jamie Chadwick and Natalie Pinkham help Callie with feedback and make her a better driver through analysis. Casper Ackerman has been appointed team boss, has to keep Butler family in unison and not break the relationship. This is manipulated by your actions on track. If you get good results, the outcome is good, etc. Can I crash in every race?
Yeah, sounds like it, and you can make.
I
it
want to
a-
know what happens.
I want to know if I can destroy that relationship.
Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah, what
ruin the
happens if you just
family.
take out Callie every round?
Well,
Yeah, dinner
Families.
afterwards.
the family's going bankrupt, and everyone hates each other.
Lovely. Lovely scenes.
And then at the end, Aiden Jackson swoops in and saves
Slides
Callie.
into them DMs. Hey, do you know how I crashed into you every race? Well, Dawes,
Just trying
but
to get closer to you.
oh dear. Also new for F1 23 is a 33% race distance.
35.
Oh, well, 35% race distance. Previously only seen in F1 esports.
Oh, I see. So you can do the same race distances as them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't understand why they don't just do 50%. Like,
It's a bit long.
It's 15% too long, clearly.
Yeah.
and I think that's it.
There is handling upgrades.
Yeah, but they say that every year.
Well, they've said it this year.
Well, at least they've said it.
Incorporating actual F1 team feedback, new physics gives cars better traction when braking, accelerating, and cornering.
As
Thank
long as
God.
it's better than
For-
last year.
I might be
For
able to
more
put my traction
predictable
control back
behaviour.
down to medium.
And there is precision drive for pad players for more control. So,
Yeah!
There's
uh,
F1 World also features a new progression system. It's complete challenges, compete for rewards, earn upgrades, and snag true-to-life F1 livery, suit, and helmet drops.
Wow.
those circuits, the whole calendar should be available from launch.
And some extra circuits as well.
Paul Ricard, Shanghai, and Portugal are coming as legacy tracks because Paul Ricard has a great legacy.
They've left Paul
doesn't
Ricard
online.
in for all the people who want to race, no rules.
Mm-hmm.
Surely, if you do no rules, that shouldn't matter with safety rating.
Well, you can't get
There you go.
penalised, so
If you want to torpedo someone, turn off
No
the rules.
rules. No rules, maximum damage.
See, that's all that they've listed on the features page of
Yep.
the
Another
game.
great feature is the increase in price of the game.
Oh, yeah.
So the standard version is £60. The Champions is 80, unless you have EA Play with a 10% discount. Or
Which I do. You.
Steam has a
Pre-order sale.
because if you've pre-ordered the old one, you get 10% off, which makes it £72. And with the new gen consoles or current gen for PS5 and Xbox Series X, for the standard it's £70, and for the Champions it's 90, unless you apply the 10% discount of EA Play.
Wait, what? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it is.
Oh, you have to pay
Enjoy
more.
paying that.
PC supremacy.
But you don't get good graphics or whatever.
Mate, I've got a better graphics card in my computer than is in any games console.
Yeah, but then it's on stream, so you can't really play it on better graphics, can you?
Shut up. I can play it better graphics when I'm playing on my own. Need a second computer.
Speaking of the graphics as well, there's a new coloring system to give it a more true-to-life visual experience.
Great. So Silverstone will look grey.
Silverstone looks really good. They showed it in the trailer. It did look good. It's got.
Did they show it on a bright sunny day?
Because
Because that's
No.
just factually inaccurate.
wet and miserable.
Good.
They've got all the
'Cause it
like,
has been today. Bloody hell.
So having
Fire
just
marks
signed
and
into my account that has EA Play, it's £80.99 for the Xbox Series X.
enjoy. We pay £72. Get it 3 days early. That's
Oh,
another
well,
thing.
yeah, so do I,
Wow.
because I'm getting the Champions Edition.
One of
So
the most important things we haven't said about is that it's releasing on June the 16th for the standard and June the 13th for the expensive edition.
the expensive edition comes with the following on Xbox. The F1 23 early pre-order Las Vegas pack, 3 days early access, Max Verstappen designed racing in-game items, 4 new My Team racing icons, 4 Breaking Point 2 My Team icons, Breaking Point 2 customization items, casual and racewear in-game items, F1 World Bumper Pack, 18,000 Bitcoin virtual currency, and 2 versions of the game for Xbox Series XS and the game for Xbox One.
One sad thing is they haven't confirmed if sofas are back.
Disappointing EA.
Yeah.
Like they'd
sure we have
ever
further
remove
updates.
something that you could spend money on.
But pet coins are back, so I'm going to
That's the
assume
thing.
sofas are too.
Well, the
It's
Bitcoin
EA.
be for the whatever.
Well, yeah, but you could
Pit-
spend
pit
Bitcoin.
pass.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
haven't
that's
actually
sofa.
said anything about the podium pass, so it is quite curious
Yeah,
as to what the
they
pit coins will be used for. Use pit coins to upgrade your safety rating.
Pay to win,
Woo!
or just pay to not get crashed into at turn 1.
Pay to win rather
Yes.
than pay to have a sofa.
No. See, Nia, it requires you
Yeah.
to also not crash into anyone.
You didn't say that. Didn't say that.
So you paid for not having anyone hit you, but that doesn't guarantee that you won't hit anyone.
Exactly.
So you're just going to tank everyone out.
Exactly.
So everyone else that paid for their good safety rating is going to be demanding refunds.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
And while we slagged Nia's driving, that was a perfect time to pre-order the game. I've just
There you
given
go.
EA too much money.
Wow.
Owners of F1 22 or F1 2021 will get a 10% off when pre-purchasing F1 23 Champions Edition in-game for Steam.
How generous of Steam.
So yeah,
Oh.
that generous, you can now spend 72 quid on the game and get a Las Vegas livery that no one's going to use.
I'm sure you're so excited.
Yeah, cannot wait to play it. And then cry about spending £72 on it. and never play it again.
Woo!
Just like this year.
Yeah, pretty much. If the handling's better, I'll definitely play it more than this year's game. I just got annoyed too easily at this year's game because it was dreadful.
Yeah.
Is there a race this weekend?
No.
No. Anything else we need to talk about? F1 Academy went racing, which is good.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
covered that.
No, they went racing
This
this
weekend.
weekend as well.
Again? Oh my
Yeah.
god, we didn't
Yes.
cover. Oh,
Oh,
quick! Load up the
they
results.
kept that very quiet.
Bianca Bustamante won race 2, and I think Marta Garcia won race 1. I think.
Garcia
I
won
just
race
know that I'm
3.
pretty sure Chloe
Yeah, wait.
Grant finished 4th in a race.
All I know is Bianca won a race, and it was great to see.
Yeah.
Hamda Al-Kabasi won race 1, Bianca
That's it.
Bustamante won race 2, and Marta Garcia won race 3. They were in
Oh,
Marta
sweet.
Valencia.
Garcia.
Yep.
She's done it again.
She's done it again. Hang on, let's have a look at Quali. She
What?
topped Quali too.
What happened to
Hello.
Abby Pulling? Where did she come in Quali?
In
Lack
Quali
of
2,
talent.
she was second. In Quali 1, she was non-existent.
Why is there so many qualifying sessions?
First,
There's 2.
Why?
Why is there only 11 finishes in each qualifying session?
Is it two
What?
like different? So they're 20.
There's
Like
50.
qualifying 1 sets the grid for what race 1 and 3, and qualifying 2 sets the grid for race 2, I think.
No,
I said
it's
it last
because
week. Why is
there's
there 3
reverse
races?
grids. There's like race 1, and then there's race 2 with reverse, and then there's race 3. And
Is it the qualifying results we're trying to
the
find?
driver securing pole position from the first qualifying session will start the race 1 from P1. The driver securing pole position in the second qualifying session will start race 3 from P1. The first 8 drivers in the first qualifying session will start race 2 in reverse grid order.
Okay. So I don't think F1 Academy is on the FIA website, which is interesting.
Well, yeah, only 11 people finished each qualifying session. Race 1 was Hamda Al-Kabasi, Nerea Marti, and Lena Bueller. Race 2 was Bianca Bustamante, Lena Bueller, and Hamda Al-Kabasi. And race 3 was Marta Garcia, Nerea Marti, and Abby Pulling.
And we're racing not this weekend, but the weekend after that. They're going to Barcelona.
Not far then.
No, just up the road. Don't know why it's not a
Close.
triple header, to be fair.
Marta Garcia has extended the lead at the top. Actually,
where's
have
Abby
a-
Pulling?
Abby Pulling in the championship standings is 7th currently on 41 points. Marta Garcia first, 97. Hamda Al-Kabasi second, 71. Third, Nerea Marti, 53. Fourth, Lena Bueller, 51. Fifth is Amna Al-Kabasi on 49. Sixth is Bianca Bustamante on 44. Seventh, Ali Pulling on 41. Eighth is Jess Edgar on 23. Ninth is Chloe Grant on 17. And 10th is Gilchrist on 15.
11th is Chong on 11. 12th is Lovenfoss on 10. 13th, I'm not even going to try that because I will butcher it.
What,
On
Shriner?
10. Oh, Shriner, okay.
Come on.
14th is the House on 4, and 15th is Cacrez on 0. There we go. If you want to follow F1 Academy live,
You
You
can't.
can't.
you can.
Well, you can watch the live timing.
The
dots go
live
round
timing
in a
page
circle.
is available on the website.
Yeah, wow.
Otherwise, you can't.
Where to watch? That you can stay up to date with everything that's happening in F1 Academy paddock with our round by round highlights program, which includes race footage and exclusive behind the scenes content from our drivers and teams. The 15-minute program will be made available to all F1 Academy rights holding broadcasters by the Wednesday following race events. We'll also be able to watch the program on F1 TV and F1 Academy and F1 social media channels.
Yeah, like they published something on F1 YouTube just before we started recording from F1
And
Academy.
On
It's 49 minutes ago.
on a Monday
uploaded the
following
race.
the race weekend, a race highlights video will be made available across F1 social media and F1 Academy.
There you go.
Amazing.
Everyone in the comments is saying it would be good if you broadcasted it live.
Yep.
I think it's difficult if they're broadcasting it live against a Formula One weekend.
Yeah,
But
but
surely they broadcast it live in Austin.
but the timings of this weekend in particular meant that they
Yeah.
probably could have done.
Oh yeah.
Like they're in Valencia compared to Miami. So
Yeah.
you're going to be racing at like 2-3 p.m. in the afternoon instead of 8:30 in the evening in terms of like our time zone.
Yeah.
So, like, that's not really a clash, is it? I can understand if, they're both in Europe, but Sky Sports has enough bloody channels that they can put it on another one.
Yeah, they
They
could
could
easily put it
also
on like
create a
Sky
new
Sports
channel.
Arena or something.
Sky Sports
suppose-
Mix, Sky Sports Action, Sky
Yeah.
Sports whatever.
I suppose for their first year, they want to make sure like everything goes well without having to worry about things going wrong on broadcasting.
They're
Because like,
not going to have an
people-
excuse though if they don't broadcast it in
No.
Austin
Well,
because
they
it's
can
Oh, that's
at
with
the
F1.
Formula One weekend.
yeah,
They can still pull the legal thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not in the contract or something.
Yeah, that's currently what the disagreement seems to be about as to why it's not being broadcast.
I think, yeah, because Sky Sports don't broadcast every Porsche Super Cup session. I don't think.
If it clashes with,
I think they only show the race,
Mm.
even when it's at Formula One weekends.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Yeah,
But it's legal, and I'm not going into it.
because we don't know, to be honest.
It's a rabbit hole I can't be asked to dive down.
Exactly. Do we have anything else to discuss?
I think we're good.
So if you want some enjoyable motorsport action from this week, go watch Formula E. If not, watch the reruns of the Miami Grand Prix. Your choice.
Could watch touring cars as well. That was this weekend.
Top choice.
Or rally.
rallying's this weekend in Portugal.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching the time.
Just trying to give some people some options, God.
Exactly.
So,
Or
Couldn't
you can
resist.
go and catch up and listen to all of our previous episodes.
Yeah,
We got
There's
plenty.
there's over 100 to choose from.
And Chris is in only 60% of them.
I'm a busy man, okay?
Playing chess.
Usually. No. If I'm not here, I'm normally
Priorities.
not playing chess. I'm normally at work or
Playing chess.
doing something. I don't play chess at work.
yeah.
You have said you play chess. abroad.
Oh, I done it one summer break, but
We are checking.
I mean, feel free to check the browsing history of the work PC. You'll see it was only
Checking
accessed
our
once.
drive.
But yeah, next week we'll be previewing whatever the next Grand Prix is. I think is it Canada?
Imola.
Imola. Oh, why can't it
Yeah,
be Canada?
Because we stupidly come back across the Atlantic because we're a really green sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not Canada. It's Imola, followed by Monaco. Yay!
I was going to say we don't go to Canada till like June, isn't it?
Yeah, June 16th. Can we just point out how we've got 3 snooze fests in a row?
What do you mean?
It's Miami, and then Imola, and then Monaco.
Yeah, so that'd be 4 because you could add Azerbaijan before that.
Azerbaijan's not normally a snooze fest though.
It was this year.
Doesn't
and last
matter if
But
year.
it
wasn't
was, so
wrong.
4.
It's 2 in a row.
And then it's
Well-
it runs the risk of it being 5 because Spain's after that.
Yeah, but
Spain's been
Spain's
good.
had 2 years of bangers, so
Exactly, so it's got to go back to sometime soon.
Me and Rich talked about that Azerbaijan last week, and we said it's on some threatening conditions to becoming a sort of race.
Yeah.
Because last year it was stinky, this year it's stinky, next year.
To be fair though, I'm looking at the
stinky.
I'm looking at the Spanish GP layout and just thinking, yes, because that Shane isn't in the picture anymore. It's amazing. And then we go to Canada, which is usually good.
get
And then
ready
Austria.
for a- Oh god! Right.
Please, F1 gods, make one of these a banger. Please.
We're basically just
Uh.
asking Red Bull to break down.
I was going, Max Verstappen wins the next 4 races.
Yeah, let's have the Red Bulls crash into each other at Sandoval and make the Monaco GP interesting.
Just have them start a lap down.
Yeah.
That'd be fair.
Let's
To
still
be-
win.
I made the point in a group chat after the race that Max and Checo could start P19 and 20 and still finish 1-2.
Probably.
The car is just so dominant.
Well, there was like a really weird stat. Like a Grand Prix has only been won from before the race from ninth, like 4 times in the history of F1. It's like how we've had over 1,000 races, and if you started ninth, you've had like one of the lowest statistical likelihoods of winning the race, which is mad. But you know, it didn't bother Max.
I think there's a statistic as well. It's like where no one's won from something like 15th ever.
No, Max did it last year.
Or that was the first ever race to be
He
won
ruined
from
that stat.
15th. Yeah.
He won from 14th, and then he won from 15th, and then he won from outer space, and then
the lowest positioned driver to ever win a race came from 22nd.
Do you remember those days back when we had 11 teams on the grid? Those were good days.
That was John Watson at the 1983 United States West Grand Prix.
Remember those days, Rich?
Oh yeah, I remember those days quite well. Earliest US Grand Prix I remember is Indianapolis.
Don't mention Indianapolis 2005.
I never mentioned the 2005. I just said Indianapolis.
But yeah, 22nd is the lowest position ever won from on the grid. Pity no one can beat that record because we only have 20 cars. After that, it's 17th.
What?
Coincidentally, also by John Watson.
Man's a last to first merchant.
The best thing about it is, it was at the same Grand Prix in consecutive years. 1982 started 17th, won. 1983 started 22nd, won.
Man was really bad at quali, but really good in the race.
But only in the United States.
Yeah, just that Grand Prix.
No, sorry, not even the United States. The United States West.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that all? I think. It's just because it's 11:05.
Yeah, I think that's it. Wrap it up.
Yeah. Thank you very much for watching the Turn 5 podcast. We'll be back next week to preview the Many Words Grand Prix from Imola. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week. Ta-ra.